5 minutes? I got another half hour. I got another half hour. 1:30, right? Look, another sidelight on this is the comeback of the British Empire. The U.S. is trapped in Iraq. The British troops are leaving. The Israelis, I think, are on the path to annihilation. London has now replaced New York as the world financial center. And as the dollar goes down, one possible beneficiary is the British pound sterling. And here's the London Economist. Hurrah for the imperialist past. We can dominate the globalized world, say the British bankers, because we had the empire. We know what to do. You never had it so good. The British. This is a very important point, but we can't go much into it. And of course, the British are delighted. Whenever Wall Street has trouble, the British always laugh, you know, Schadenfreude. So here's the walk on Wall Street, and it's walking the tightrope on your toes, and you're going to go down, says the London Economist. The immediate perspective, I think, could well be this. Get rid of Cheney. He's weak. Try to kick him now when he's down. Right? Don't let that thrombosis go away before we get rid of him. Now, the problem, however, is stop him before he kills again. The September Criminals Network, in other words, the invisible government will not go away. Right? Bush and Cheney may go, but the invisible government not. Let's look at the state of our movement. Now, I say our, because I regard everybody here as part of 9/11 Truth. I hope you agree. Yes. Yes. Let's look at our history. About a year ago, just about a year ago, we had the Charlie Sheen statements about how he didn't believe the official version. And this simply knocked the media world on its ear. This was done with the help of Alex Jones, tremendous activist in the movement. And above all, I want to point you to the debate, the Los Angeles conference. Many people here, I believe, were at the Los Angeles conference of last June, and I want to tell you, you made history. If you have some doubts about whether you can change history again, I say to you, you have already changed history in the form of this conference. Here's Alex Jones, for those who weren't there. This was on C-SPAN 4 times, possibly 5 times, for a total of 10 hours of C-SPAN, and it got the biggest audience in C-SPAN history, according to leaks from the C-SPAN bureaucracy. And it changed the climate of opinion in the United States. Bush and Rove thought they could win again, as they had won in 02, 04. They thought they could do it in 06, using the boogeyman of 9/11. And a lot of Pols noticed, hey, wait a minute, as far as 9/11 is concerned, the life has gone out of the booze. It's not working anymore. People are not frightened enough to roll over on this terrorism issue. And this is how it happened. Here we are, Alex Jones, Bob Bowman, Dr. Stephen Jones, Jim Fetzer over here. Whoop, here I am. Whoop. And this was on 4 to 5 times. We also had Stephen Jones starting in November of 05, preparing the ground here on MSNBC. And of course it goes on and on. When you get your subscription copy of Hustler in the mail, before you go on to read about the 62 Republican perverts, do read this part over here. Well, to the picture sections, Charlie Sheen, Alex Jones, and I think we have Stephen Jones in here too. So this is a mass market publication, I guess. Everybody got 30 seconds on CNN here, even I benefited. And Bob Bowman got 44% in his district in Florida. And if our dear friend Rahm Emanuel, I call him Rambozo, let's call him Rambozo, Rahm Emanuel, the current head of the Democratic caucus in the House, if he'd given him a couple of $100,000, he would have won the seat. And we'd have an actual 9/11 Truth Caucus in the House of Representatives. Now, do not believe that these parliamentary cretins, Pelosi and Reid, that they electrified public opinion with their courageous stances and so forth, right? This is obviously absurd. They did their best to lose the election. Since the election, they've done their best to throw away the fruits of the election. They were allowed to get where they are today by our action, and I'll try to show you how. Here's the poll. This was last October. New York Times, CBS. 16% of Americans think the government is telling the truth. Do you think they're telling the truth, hiding something, or mostly lying? Telling the truth, 16. Hiding something, 53. mostly lying 28, and then not sure. This is in the wake of the 4 to 5 C-SPAN broadcasts. We changed public opinion. You changed public opinion and determined the outcome of this election by breaking the power of the 9/11 terror demagogy and the boogeyman vision of bin Laden and the rest of them. Rove thought he could win. Many people saw that it was not effective, and the turning point, I would say, is the Charlie Sheen, Alex Jones, Los Angeles conference and the 4 C-SPAN broadcasts. So the 9/11 nightmare vision was discredited. I'm on until 1:30. I started at 20 to noon. 20 to noon. I get 50 minutes. What? I came 2,000 miles. Now, one of our problems is this question, this constant question of anti-Semitism. And interesting question. I just want to mention this briefly. A couple of weeks ago, I started getting calls from a producer at CNN, and she says to me, "Oh, what do you think of 9/11?" I tell her what I think. She said, "But what about the Jews and the Mossad? What do you think about them?" And I said, "Well, I think this is much overestimated. Here's what I think about it." And then that was it. And I think some other people here have gotten calls from the same C-SPAN producer. This is for Paula Zahn. So what they wanted was somebody to go on Paula Zahn and talk about the Jews and the Mossad. And I'm afraid they found it in our friend Chris Bolin, who is willing to do it. Learn something from this example. They're actively going out and trying to get people who are willing to say, it was not the CIA, not the Pentagon, not the NSA, not the New York banks, not any of them, but a couple of 2-bit Mossad agents dancing on a roof. And this is absolutely absurd. Notice the propaganda techniques that they use. Now, this is the problem. Bruegel's triumph of death. This is now the thing we have to worry about. Who can stop World War III? You. Time magazine has empowered all of us. We are the media. We can make news and be the media. Now, what is our movement? Light forces. Not that many. No money. Not much of an organization. But we have the greatest political issue of the time. No other issue compares to 9/11. Nothing comes close. You, as 9/11 truth activists, have self-selected yourself. You are moral and intellectual giants compared to the people around you. Your moral and intellectual qualities are greater than those of the average population by factors of 10, orders of magnitude. You are the salt of the earth. You have the possibility to intervene to change the course of events. And since you can, you must. Because there are millions of people out in the world who would like to, but can't. So how can these forces steer us away from the catastrophe of World War III? How can we be a catalyst also to that party realignment going on here? 28, 60, 96, 32, 68, and now we've got another one. The 30 to 40 year cycles. If you don't get it, ask me later. 9/11 truth squads. This is the heart of the matter. You've got the New Hampshire primary, the Iowa caucuses, the Nevada caucuses, the South Carolina primary. The Nevada caucuses. Note well. This is in time of retail politics. You don't have it last year, you don't have it next year. You have it now. Town meetings, barbershops, workplaces, old folks' homes, public streets, and so forth. The process is uncontrollable. There are 25 candidates, and they're out there. The 9/11 Truth Squads were founded in Dover, New Hampshire, January 20th. Here are two guys. Rob is at a small computer company. Mike is a broadcaster in the Connecticut River Valley over in Keene, New Hampshire. And they went and confronted Dodd. The details are not important, but they went right out to Dodd, who was campaigning across town about 5 or 10 minutes away, and they began to ask him about 9/11. I'd be glad to take a look at this. I don't know the answer. He wants to be president and defeat the Bushies, but he doesn't know. There he is. And it was printed in the Democratic New Hampshire newspaper. And there's more. Another guy gets up. 2 questioners. 1 question, 1 follow-up, 1 cameraman. Unfortunately, we didn't have the cameraman. So he says, would you support an investigation? I'd take a look at it. By now he's beginning to get worried. Now, of course, we do interventions. Here's DC 9/11 Truth. Beware another fake 9/11 to nuke Iran at the White House. Right? 9/11 Truth now. But again, the Obama. Matt Dayton. We can disrupt the media food chain, break the controlled environment, disrupt the mass brainwashing. And look at that. A sea of brainwashed zombies and 1 9/11 activist completely changes the entire thing. It could be you. It should be you. I had him on my radio program. I said, did you get any punch you in the ribs or anything? No. And of course, you have to remember, the cameraman or the camera woman who did this is also a key part of it. So we want to create a media feeding frenzy. We want to force the controlled media to work for us. You can do it. There it is again. How do you do it? You ask loaded questions. It's what Plato and Socrates would have wanted you to do. Ask loaded questions. You can also do things like this. Here, this is January 27th peace demonstration, right? The raging grannies in the background. 9/11 is an inside job. How about that one? The Philadelphia 9/11 truth. Some kids from Temple University took the lead in confronting Jesse Jackson about the fact that he's a member of the CFR and he's covering up on 9/11. That was January 27th, 2007.